Good morning. So, you can see I have a Band-Aid or CVS thing, whatever it is, on my finger, and that actually was quite a bit bigger of a deal than it looks like. That's the third day that is on there. Um, my car is haunted, and I'm not saying that lightly, and I know why. So it is a used car. It's about 15 years old, and I used to have a convertible, and I changed jobs, not by choice, a few years ago, and the new job was not paying me, and the convertible went bye bye, and it was probably good timing for it to go bye bye because the things were going out on it. So I got an SUV, and it's been pretty reliable and everything. Something is not working on it right now, and it's probably something that I actually, with my very, very limited mechanical knowledge, might be able to fix on my own. So my cousin showed me how to read the book that comes with the car and troubleshoot things, which will save me money. It's already done that a few times. Uh, he showed me how to put oil in the car, which has saved me a lot of money. And, little things like that. So, when I was little, my dad got me. I don't know if some of you remember a store called Radio Shack, and they used to have these little electronic kits that had these things called crystal radios in them, and those were kind of neat because it would come with a certain amount of wires and these little springs, and you could hook up the wire to the spring, and it would tell you, that you're hooking it up to a capacitor, and then when you hook it up to this other thing, it's a transistor, and blah blah blah, and then you had a little radio, and it didn't work. But then I figured out that the antenna that came with it was not big enough. So I would ask my mother if I could use her cooling racks, and then I would hook it up to the cooling rack, and then it would work. And I could hear some crummy radio station that was still broadcasting on AM. And if you are old enough to still actually use a radio, AM was crummy, and FM had like the good stuff on it with the good music on it. So I was all excited because I actually built a radio. And I didn't understand what capacitors and resistors and all that were, but I knew that I hooked up the right wires to the right springs, and it worked. Um, Now, my nibbling probably would actually be able to tell you what I did, because they're very handy with that kind of stuff, and like to experiment with that stuff. Me, no. I just knew one hooked up to two and all that. What I like to experiment with, and I was just talking to a friend about that, was cloning little potato plants and stuff, because this was a prelude to what I really wanted to clone, which was, yeah, you know what it was. Um, and I have been keeping in on top of the whole controversy about the very cute dire wolves that have been cloned, and that's not what I wanted to clone. You know what I wanted to clone. Well, I did want to clone like animals and stuff too, but yeah, it turns out I'm colorblind, so that was the end of the science career in college, and then I switched to communications. So I've always had an interest in science, though. So I have a little familiarity with how electronic things work because of the science. I mean, not science, but the electronic kits. So I found out, my car was not starting. It was like doing the thing where it doesn't do anything, but the doors lock, so that's good, because you know this is not an area where you want your car to be unlocked. So I finally was able to get some fuses for the car, which seemed like they're a simple enough thing, So it is boring, so I checked all the fuses in the. Well, the first thing I did was I found out that one of the fuses was indeed melted. We do have a lot of electrical storms here in Florida. Where I am now is not as bad as where I was living, which was in Jacksonville, Florida, which is the lightning capital of the world. We could time it, unplug the electronics at 2:30. But over here, there's just a lot of them. They're not every single day, but I was like, oh, and my cousin told me there were spare fuses in the engine, so I was like, okay, I'll just take one out of that. And I did, and I replaced it, and it still didn't start. And then I found a video on YouTube, or it wasn't on YouTube. I found a thing online, and I realized that's not where the spare fuses are. Um, so I had apparently taken fuses out of something that needed to run. So I ended up, I went to Walmart, and while I was at Walmart, I bought more fuses, and I bought some matzo and grape juice, which, um, if you are not Jewish, please do not buy it during Passover because we actually need to use it for ceremonies. But Kedem is what Welch's used to taste like back in the 70s. It is a taste of childhood and happiness and joy, and I've been enjoying it. I bought a huge bottle of it, and I've been just so happy drinking my grape juice. I say the blessing on it, and it makes me really happy to drink it because it just brings me back to you know being a little girl and drinking Welch's grape juice back in the 70s, and just happiness and everything. Although Welch's was a treat, it was usually Kool-Aid. But we didn't keep kosher when I was little. But it's just a happy. It was hard to get Kedem back in those days. But it's just a happy taste and everything. And so anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm very grateful that I was able to find just those two items over at Walmart because car still did not start. So I was trying to change out all the fuses and everything. And I had some luck, and I found another one that melted. And it's pretty easy, by the way, ladies. If you do not know anything else about your car, learn how to change the fuses because it will save you a lot of money. It's something super easy to do, and your husband's probably already taught you how to do it, or your father or someone. It's like super super easy, and there's like a little chart that tells you where it goes. So if you drop one and you don't remember what kind it is, they have numbers on it and everything. Is not a difficult thing to do. and you can buy them over at Walmart. They're like $5 for a little thing of that has like about 10 of them in it. So that part was easy, except that I did gash my finger trying to pull one out, and that this was after like checking 20 of them. So it's not the gashing my finger part that really alarmed me. It's that I know the history of the car. And the car was cleaned very, very meticulously before I got it, except that they missed one spot. And that's how I know that I'm not being paranoid that the car is haunted. There has been a lot of paranormal activity in the car, which I could chalk up to superstition or me being spooked about things, including when I was looking at the car door decided to slam itself on my leg. It loves to do that. Or and maybe the ghost is just trying to hold the door open and can't do it. I don't know. And there is paranormal activity in the car, and I'm not being crazy or loopy or whatever. And when I tell you why I know there is a ghost as opposed to maybe just things being old in the car or whatever, you're gonna freak out. Um, okay, so I have a little personal history to share. I had a brother that unalived himself when I was in high school, and we had to hire crime scene cleaners to clean up his bedroom and everything. So there are things that I understand that happen afterwards. And it was very traumatic and everything. I understand stuff about that maybe other people do not understand about that. And that was extremely traumatic and everything. So I do know what happens and what gets missed when that happens. And so they don't always get every single little detail when they clean up. And so this car, I got it from a used car dealer, and it checked all the boxes of what I needed in the car, and the convertible had checked all the boxes of what I wanted, and my cousin was like, "You don't need that. I know you wanted the big tires. Those tires were too big. They're expensive. You know, you will be fine with tires that are this size, and he knows a lot about that stuff and, things like that. So, um, I need tires that are bigger than average, because of the way I drive. And that was the thing we agreed upon. He was helping me pick out the cars. And ladies, if you are car shopping, you do need a man with you when you go car shopping. You will get taken advantage of if you don't have a man with you, even if you know more about cars than he does. That is important. So, the after I got the car, I got certain things to upgrade it immediately. Like a GPS system. I got a transponder so that I could listen to my music in the car as opposed to FM radio. So there were just things that were a little off going on in the car that I was like, I don't remember this kind of stuff happening in the convertible, or other cars. I was like, okay, it's just a little strange, but okay, so I decided to do the wipe down in the car with Clorox wipes because I am normally very germ phobic, and if you saw the house right now, it's not that clean because I don't have that much energy to clean stuff right now. But I'm normally pretty germ phobic about stuff, So that is it's nothing here right now that it wouldn't take like an hour to clean up. It's not bad. You know, I so I started wiping, the steering wheel and the dashboard and all that stuff. And then I noticed something on the ceiling, and it was evidence that somebody had done a self-exit inside the car. So that is how I know that that car is haunted. Combined with the unexplained phenomena, and that was a spot that the car detailer missed in the car. And I got a couple of pieces of um, Clorox wipe and removed it and cleaned that spot with Clorox wipe. And I shouldn't have just thrown it in the garbage. I probably should have asked the rabbi what to do with it. I didn't think about that. I was a little freaked out about it at the time, and I did put it in the garbage. That was maybe not respectful to do that, but um, the that combined with weird little things like doors closing by themselves, which they shouldn't be doing, and things like that. You know, I think the car is haunted, and I've seen it do other little weird things that it shouldn't be doing, and I've read things on Reddit where people have had cars change radio stations on which were controlled by knobs, where they've actually seen the knobs moving and things like that. So I have not seen that happen yet, but I have seen other unexplained things happen in the car. So I believe that it is actually haunted, and that gets to this. If they missed a detail like that when they detailed the car, they may have missed the inside of the fuse box where I gashed my finger open. And this was a big gash. It's healed up in the last 2 days. So I was running a fever afterwards. It was to the point I had even taken ibuprofen, and the fever was not going away. And at that point, I left work early. I still have FMLA, and I was getting really concerned about it, because I don't know what kind of bacteria that car has on the inside of the dashboard surfaces and everything. So this was something scary, and fortunately, the fever has gone away. It started to go away yesterday at evening. And, every time I break out in a sweat, which could be a hot flash because I am finally starting to get those. The cancer has prevented the hot flashes. I have ovarian cancer. So, I never got the hot flashes. I'm 55. I never got hot flashes. Because I was still getting periods. And, I'm sorry that that might be a little icky to hear that, too much information, but that's a symptom. And so this is kind of new territory for me and everything. I'm finally, after 6 rounds of chemo, finally experiencing what my peers from high school went through maybe like 8 years ago. So uh, that was quite scary, and it was all just from a little gash on my finger, a couple days ago, and this is 2 days old now. So I actually, because my immune system is compromised from the chemo, that was a major thing, and I am allergic to Neosporin. I can't just put Neosporin on cuts, and that's my own fault. I did talk to the doctor about it about 10 years ago. It's my own fault. I, when I was a teenager, I found out Neosporin was a fantastic way to make pimples go away. So I used it on every single zit that I ever had. And I had no zits in high school. It was fantastic. Everybody else was like, fighting that. I had no zits. And I, I used it too much and I got allergic to it. I can't even use eardrops for an ear infection now. Which is okay because Bactine works. Um, so I have to use Bactracin, and one of my doctors gave me this stuff called Muposin or something like that. I got bit by brown recluse a few years ago, and that's what they gave me for it. So I have like a couple tubes of it. I like lanced it immediately afterwards. So um, brown recluses are a danger in Florida. That's kind of a thing, you know. And I am not recommending treating that with over-the-counter stuff. You have to go to the doctor, even if you lance it and clean it immediately, which is what I did. I'm diabetic, so I have lancers. I still got sick from it, but it was not like lethal. Like my older sister almost died from it because she didn't go to the doctor right away, and my older sister's a nurse. But anyway, so that was my adventure with a haunted car. Um, and that is how I know my car is haunted too. So be careful. Be careful with used cars. If you get caught in a used car, if you don't know the history of it, be extra careful. Because you don't know what kind of bacteria is on it. And when you get a used car, by all means, always wipe it down with Clorox wipes or alcohol wipes when you first get it, because you don't know what happened in that car before you got it. Um, I did find a lot of personal information in that car when I got it too. Which, if that had been a trade-in, and the owner was alive when he traded it in, he would have taken that out of the car. So, that's my adventure this week. And as you can see, it's starting to heal up. I had a much bigger bandage on it for the last 2 days. It stopped bleeding. I'm excited about that. It was bleeding for a couple of days. So, like, the bandages were soaked through. It was, I can't even drive over to the cancer clinic right now because I haven't removed all of the melted fuses. That thing got hit by lightning. And I'm hoping that I don't have to replace a battery again because I just got a battery 6 months ago. And I think it was about 6 months ago. I don't think it's under warranty. I'm not sure. Um, I'm concerned about that, you know. Anyway, I hope you don't have a week that's that drama filled over something that tiny. And have a good day, and bye bye.